Hello and welcome to the Banker's Tech Talk video series looking at all things fintech. I'm Joy Macknight, Managing Editor of The Banker. And this week, my guest is Alan Blanchard, who is UK lead at Apiax, which is a regtech firm. Alan, thanks so much for joining me.
It's a pleasure.
So what would you say are the biggest pain points for banks when it comes to compliance?
The main pain point that we see is in taking that legal and compliance knowledge from the in-house legal and compliance team or from external legal advisors and transferring that knowledge right into the heart of the business, so the people selling the products or providing the services. Now, that's not because the firms don't want to be compliant. Before I was at Apiax, I was at the UK regulator, the Financial Conduct Authority, and there spoke to plenty of firms who were trying desperately to be compliant, but they had an issue around finding the correct rules, understanding those rules, and implementing those rules. And that's where Apiax comes in to try and solve some of that pain.
So let's talk a little bit about that. So how does Apiax really connect banks to a network of compliance experts?
Yeah, so our technology is regulatory technology. So we're really concerned with making rules and regulations digital. So first and foremost, we digitize those rules, and then we can make them machine readable, and then you can start easily integrating them into different services and systems and platforms. And ideally, we want to get to a position where within a few clicks, a person is able to identify whether they are permitted or not with a very clear yes or no answer to their regulatory question. And the fundamental sort of building blocks behind that is the compliance knowledge itself. And we partner with top tier law firms like Allen and Overy to provide that knowledge, to do the understanding of the rules, finding the relevant rules, and doing the interpretation, which we can then pass to our in-house team of regulatory engineers to do the digitization and then feed that into our technology.
And how do you use application programming interfaces to really do that and to make that connection?
Yeah, so Apiax is very much an API first company. I mean, the name is based on API, right? So we very well understand that doing all this work for digitizing rule sets and obligations is no good unless you can plug them in somewhere. So this has got to be done using an API. We need to be able to have the compliance rules sitting outside of core business processes, but with a clear and easy pathway for generating those queries and returning the results back again. And I think once we have all of those rule sets digitized, we're creating a network also of compliance experts in the advisors, the law firms that we partner with that provide that knowledge. So if you have a single repository for every single rule around financial services or any regulated environment, all accessed with an API, then you've got something pretty powerful there.
Does that mean it always stays up to date as well? It makes it very easy once regulations change and evolve.
Precisely. So we're removing that requirement from every single financial institution doing it themselves to the legal advisors, those core experts doing that once and for everyone.
And my last question is really around, the work that you're doing with banks like Credit Suisse. Can you talk a little bit sort of about what you're doing with them?
So we're absolutely delighted to be working with Credit Suisse, and we're now seeing recognition for the work we're doing. So PWM recently gave us an award for best use of regtech, which we were delighted about. And where we're doing that is in the cross-border rules for their relationship managers. So it can be hugely complex around where my client is, where I'm located, where the funds are located, for example, a high degree of complexity with Credit Suisse's own in-house system to manage the sort of lining up of clients and managing those interactions. And our rules sit alongside that and are queried backwards and forwards with an API in real time, making sure that the relationship managers no longer have to worry about the compliance processes that sit alongside the business that they're doing. They are essentially compliant by design.
Well, thank you so much for your insights, Alan.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.